Coffee's getting cold on the nightstand beside the space where you used to lay. I'm still reaching out for a ghost hand in the quiet blue of the break of day. I found your ribbon in the hole we rub. It still smells like the perfume you wore. Now every memory gives a jagged tug as I'm staring at the wood of the bedroom door. They say the silence is a healing thing, but all I hear is the ghost of your ring clattering down on the kitchen floor. I can't find the us we were before. Oh my baby love, the stars have all gone grayer, but you were the rhythm, you were the spark. Now I'm just a shadow dancing in the dark. I'm calling your name to an empty hall, watching the tears turn to dust as they fall. How do I breathe when the air feels like stone? Baby, love, I'm so tired of being alone. I saw your car at the light today, and for a second my heart skipped a beat. I had 1,000 things I wanted to say before you turned onto a different street. Now the house is a museum of what we had, frames on the wall filled with used to be. It's funny how the good can hurt this bad. Like a winter wind through the autumn trees, they say that time is a mending thread, but I'm still tangled in the things we said. The forever that ended a week ago, and the I love yous I can't let go. Oh my baby love, the stars have all gone grayer, but you were the rhythm, you were the spark. Now I'm just a shadow dancing in the dark. I'm calling your name to an empty hall, watching the tears turn to dust as they fall. How do I breathe when the air feels like stone? Baby love, I'm so tired of being alone. I'd trade every tomorrow just for one more yesterday, to go back to the moment before you walked away. I'd fix the cracks, I'd hold the line, I'd stop the clock and make you mine. But the world keeps spinning cold and cruel, and I'm just a heartbroken, lonely fool. So sleep well tonight, wherever you are, I'll be right here, wishing on a falling star. Just a whisper now, soft as a glove. Goodbye, my baby love. I used to be the one who slammed the door. I used to pace a hole in the hardwood floor. I used to beg for answers, I used to plead my case. I used to scream the tears right down my face. I was a hurricane, I was a flood. I had a fighting rhythm in my blood. But you sat there like a statue made of stone, checking your watch
checking your phone. You never raised your voice, you never frowned. You just let my words fall to the ground. You looked at me like I was insane for trying to dance inside the rain. But look at me now, I'm sitting still. I lost the fight, I've lost the will. I don't ask questions, I don't demand. I don't reach out for your empty hand. It wasn't in my nature, it wasn't what I knew. But I learned silence from you. Yeah, I learned how to swallow the truth. I learned silence from you. It's a contagious kind of disease, turning the warmest summer into a freeze. I watched how you did it, how you shut down the blinds, how you erased me from the front of your mind. So I started to practice, I started to hide. I killed the part of me that was hurting inside. Now the car ride is quiet, the dinner is mute, and I finally followed in your suit. I stopped throwing pebbles at a fortress wall. I stopped waiting for the tower to fall. I realized that fighting is a two-person game, and playing alone is just a shame. So look at me now, I'm sitting still. I lost the fight, I've lost the will. I don't ask questions, I don't demand. I don't reach out for your empty hand. It wasn't in my nature, it wasn't what I knew. But I learned silence from you. Yeah, I learned how to swallow the truth. I learned silence from you. I wish we were yelling, I wish we were fighting. I wish there was a spark that we were lighting. Because anger is passion and anger is heat, but this indifference is a dead-end street. It's the sound of a heart that is flatlining. It's the end of the silver lining. You taught me the lesson, you taught me well, how to live quietly inside of hell. The house is peaceful, the war is done. There's no battle left to be won. I'm looking at you, you're looking through me. We're exactly who you wanted us to be. I'm finally quiet too, because I learned silence from you. The sun went down an hour ago. The street lamps are putting on their show. It's the time of night when I should lock the door and pace the length of the wooden floor. I draw the blinds on the window pane, listen to the rhythm of the falling rain. But before I turn to head up the stairs, I do the only thing that answers my prayers. It's a habit now, a ritual I keep. Before I try to trick myself to sleep, I left the light on for you, burning a hole case you regret the things you say. If you're out there driving in the dark, it's a tiny little fire, welcoming spark. I know you're gone, I know we're through, but I left the light on for you. The bulb is humming a lonely sound, drawing the moss from the cold wet ground. The neighbors probably think that I'm insane, wasting electricity on a phantom pain. But what if you turn a corner tonight and the house is dark and the porch is tight? What if you think that I've moved on and you turn around and you're really gone? I can't take the risk, I can't take the chance, so I'm stuck inside of this frozen dance. Yeah, I left the light on for you, burning a hole in the midnight blue, just in case you forget the way, in case you regret the things you say. If you're out there driving in the dark, it's a tiny little fire, welcoming spark. I know you're gone, I know we're through, but I left the light on for you. They say a lighthouse only saves the ships that wanna be found, but I'm shining this beacon all over this town. You are lost in the world, you are lost in the sea. You know exactly where you are, you're just not here with me. The morning is coming, the sky is turning gray, the sun is gonna wash the lamp away. Another night passed and the driveway is bare, there's nobody standing there. I guess you're not coming, I guess this is true. So I'm turning off the light for you. I saw the cracks before the floor began to shake. I counted every single breath you didn't take. My fingers ache from trying to keep the door shut tight against the cold that started creeping in at night. I saw you looking at the horizon far away, while I was busy building walls to make you stay. I played the hero in a story already told, trying to find a way to keep the fire from turning cold. Every time you step back, I took a step towards you, desperate to prove that all our promises were true. But you can't anchor a ship that's begging for the sea, and I couldn't be the cage that made you feel free. I tried to hold on until the rope burned through my skin. I tried to keep the light from letting the darkness in. I gripped the forever until my knuckles turned white. I was the only one left standing in the fight. I fought for the us while you were already gone, trying to stretch out the dust to meet the dawn. My heart is a
some air while you were already miles away from being there. I tried to hold on until the road burned through my skin. I tried to keep the light from letting the darkness in. I gripped it forever until my knuckles turned white. I was the only one left standing in the fight. I fought for the earth while you were already gone, trying to stretch out the dust to meet the dawn. My heart is a wreck and my hands are completely drawn, but God knows I tried to hold on. I tried to hold on. Now my palms are empty and they're scarred and they're sore from reaching for a ghost who doesn't love me anymore. There's no pride in the struggle, there's no prize for the pain. Just a long, lonely walk through the pouring rain. I had to let go just to keep from going under, but the sound of the silence is louder than the thunder. Yeah, I tried to hold on until the road burned through my skin. I tried to keep the light from letting the darkness in. I gripped it forever until my knuckles turned white, knowing deep down I was losing the fight. I fought for the earth while you were already gone. I'm so tired of waiting for a day that won't dawn. My heart is a wreck and the battle is finally done, but don't you ever say that I didn't try to hold on. I tried to hold on. My hands are shaking, the rope is gone. I'm letting you go because I can't hold up the world all on my own. I tried, I really tried. I found a video buried in my phone from a summer night. Before I was alone, you were laughing at something I'd whispered in your ear. A sound so bright, it's hard for me to hear. We look like giants, like we own the very sky, with no idea how to say a real goodbye. In that grain of light, we were golden, we were new, and I didn't have to wonder if I'd ever lose you. But I saw you at the station just a week ago. You had a different coat and a different kind of glow. We traded how I used, like two strangers in the rain. And I realized that the person I miss doesn't share your name. 'Cause I'm still in love with what we were, before the colors faded and the lines began to blur. I'm in love with the us that believed in every word, before the silence was the only thing we heard. You're still breathing, but that version of you is gone. And I'm left here holding the ghost of the dawn. I don't want them now, and I can't face the hurt. I'm still in love with what we were. We used to stay up till the sun began to rise, seeing the whole universe inside each other's eyes. Now we're just careful, and we're polite, and we're cold, like a library book that's gotten much too old. I'm not in love with the way you walk away, or the hollow things you find the strength to say. I'm in love with the way you used to pull me in, before the distance became our only sin. Yeah, the clock keeps ticking and the world moves along, was small and the feelings were pure. I'm in love with the us that was brave enough to stay before we learned how to throw it all away. You're still breathing, but that version of you is gone, and I'm standing in the wreckage trying to move on. But I don't want the now, and I can't face the her. I'm just still in love with what we is piling up inside the box. I haven't turned the key to check the locks. The windows are all dusty from the street. There's nothing here to make a heart skip a beat. I walk through the kitchen, cold and gray, where we used to laugh the night away. But the coffee pot is dry, the mugs are gone, and the silence stretches on and on. It's funny how a house can lose its soul when the half departs and leaves the whole. I saw a shadow moving in the hall, but it was just the branches on the wall. I almost called your name out loud, but I choked it back inside a cloud. Don't bother knocking on the front door. Don't look for the shoes upon the floor. The fire is out, the warmth is fled. We're sleeping in a separate bed. You can ring the bell until your head is sore, but no one's gonna answer, that's for sure. Back up the memories, settle the score, 'cause love doesn't live here anymore. Neighbors probably think I've moved away. I haven't seen the sun in days. I'm living with the ghost of what we were before the crystal vision started to blur. There's a stain on the carpet by the stair from the wine we spilled without a care. Now it looks like a bruise upon the ground, a mark of the battle where we drowned. We built a castle made of glass and stone. Now I'm shivering inside of it alone. I saw a shadow moving in the hall, but it was just the branches on the wall. I almost called your name out loud, but I choked it back inside a cloud. So don't bother knocking on the front door. Don't look for the shoes upon the floor. The fire is out, the warmth is fled. We're sleeping in a separate bed. You can ring the bell until your head is sore, but no one's gonna answer, that's for sure. Pack up the memories, settle the score, 'cause love doesn't live here anymore. It moved out on a Tuesday afternoon. It left too early, it left too soon. It didn't leave a forwarding address, it just left me here to clean up the mess. It took the laughter, it took the light, and left me stranded in the endless night. The leash is up on us, keys are on the counter. I'm walking out the door. I'm not looking looking back. Yeah, turn out the light, close the gate. Love doesn't live here. Not anymore. I check the corners of this empty room, looking for a reason to dispel the gloom. I search my pockets for a grain of hope, for a silver lining or a fraying road. But I gave you my secrets and I gave you my pride. I opened up the gates to everything inside. I poured my spirit into a cracked and broken cup, until I had nothing left to offer up. They say that love is a treasure, beautiful thing, but they don't tell you about the winter it brings. I bet my whole life on a winning, only to find I was building on sand. No love left me with nothing, not even a spark, just a cold hollow echo. Alone in the dark, it took the sun from my morning, gold from my sky, and left me with a debt that I can't even buy. My heart is a bankrupt, my spirit is dry. In a body that's forgotten to cry. I gave you my always, I gave you my something. Now love left me with nothing. I look in the mirror and I don't see a face, just a blurred out shadow in a lonely space. I traded my fire just to keep you warm. Now I'm shivering naked in the eye of the storm. I used to have dreams that could reach for the stars. Now I'm just counting the light through the bars. You took the forever and you took the because, and you left me wondering who I ever was. Yeah, I thought I was building a palace of stone, but I was just digging a grave of my own. I gambled on us until I went broke, and now that together has gone up in smoke. Now love left me with nothing, not even a spark, just a cold hollow echo. Alone in the dark, it took the sun from my morning, the gold from my sky, and left me with a debt that I can't even buy. My heart is a bankrupt, my spirit is dry. I'm a ghost in a body that's forgotten to cry. I gave you my always, I gave you my something. Now love left me nothing. It didn't leave a lesson, it didn't leave a scar, it didn't leave a map to show me where you are. It just left a vacuum where the air used to be, a total eclipse of the version of me. Zero in the bank and zero in my chest. I gave you my best and you took the rest. And nothing in my hands, nothing in my heart, just a nothingness left. When you fall apart, the lights are out, the well is dry. I'm just a hollow hello to a permanent goodbye. Yeah, love left me with nothing, absolutely nothing. Used to hate the way the floorboards creak. I hated how the kitchen faucet leaked. I hated the noise of the TV show you watched every night in the pale blue glow. I hated the arguments, the slamming doors, the clothes you left piled on the hardwood floor. I thought the chaos was the enemy, but
now there's nothing here but me. I brace myself for the crash and burn, for the jagged twist and the sudden turn. But the noise is faded, the dust has settled down, and silence is the king of this empty town. And I'm finding out the loud parts fade, but the silence cuts like a razor blade. It isn't the shouting that breaks your heart, it's the space in the bed where we fell apart. It's the dust collecting on a picture frame. It's the lack of a voice calling out my name. Yeah, the thunder passes and the storm gives up the ghost, but the quiet things hurt the most. It's the phone that sits on the table black. It's the unread text that you won't send back. It's the toothbrush gone from the bathroom sink. It's the way I have too much time to think. It's the Sunday morning without a sound. No footsteps walking on the ground. It's a peacefulness that I can't stand, like a heavy weight in an empty hand. I brace myself for the crash and burn, for the jagged twist and the sudden turn. But the noise is faded, the dust has settled down, and silence is the king of this empty town. 'Cause I'm finding out that the loud parts fade, but the silence cuts like a razor blade. It isn't the shouting that breaks your heart, it's the space in the bed where we fell apart. It's the dust collecting on a picture frame. It's the lack of a voice calling out my name. Yeah, the thunder passes and the storm gives up the ghost, but the quiet things hurt the most. I would trade the peace for a fight right now. I'd take the screaming, I don't care how. Just break the glass, just slam the door. Don't leave me with this nothing anymore. The silence is violent, the silence is loud. It's screaming at me from a lonely cloud. It's the coffee cup that I can't move. It's the needle skipping inside the groove. It's the air in the room. It's the lack of a ghost. Yeah. The coffee's getting cold on the kitchen table. I still make 2 cups as if I'm stable. I haven't moved your coat from the back of the chair. I still catch the ghost of your scent in the air. The neighbors ask why I don't turn out the light, but darkness is heavy when I'm losing the fight. I'm still keeping rhythm with the clock on the wall, waiting for a shadow that will walk down the hall. And every car that slows down by the gate makes my heart skip a beat, then it turns in a wave. The world keeps on turning, spinning out of my view, but I'm frozen in time, just holding for you. And I'm still waiting for you to come back, to bridge all the distance, to fill every crack. The
believe. Yeah, my heart's under lock and the sky's turning black, and I'm still waiting for you to come back. Walk past our bench by the edge of the park. It looks so much smaller alone in the dark. I started to call you to tell you a joke, then I felt the silence, the way that it choked. I've memorized every word that you said. They play like a movie inside of my head. I'm haunting this house like a ghost of our past, wondering why good things aren't meant to last. And every phone vibration in the night makes me pray for your name in the pale glow of light. The world keeps on moving, forgetting your face, but no one could ever step into your place. And I'm still waiting for you to come back, to bridge all the distance, to fill every crack. The seasons are changing, the leaves turn to gray, but I'm standing right where you left me that day. They tell me it's over, they say I should leave, but how do I breathe when I'm scared to believe? Yeah, my heart's under lock and the sky's turning black, and I'm still waiting for you to come back. Maybe I'm a fool for keeping the key. Maybe you've already forgotten about me, but I'd rather be lonely and keeping the flame than live in a world where I don't speak your name. So I'll stay in the wreckage, I'll stay in the rain until the day you come home and quiet the pain. Porch light is flickering low, but I'm not ready to let the hope go. I'll leave the door unlocked just in case. I'm still looking for you in every face. Still waiting, still waiting. Please come back. I used to draw you maps to find my heart, to trace the lines of every broken part. I'd write a thesis on the reasons why I felt a storm coming in a clear blue sky. I acted like a lawyer for the defense, trying to make my feelings make some sense. I talk until the candles burn down low, begging you to see, begging you to know. I thought if I could find the perfect word, then finally I would be heard. I thought that if I raised my voice enough, it would break through the surface of your blood. But the room went quiet on a Tuesday afternoon. The sun was fading way too soon. You looked at me with that same blank stare, and I realized that you just didn't care. I didn't scream, I didn't start a fight, I didn't try to prove that I was right. I just let the silence take the blame, That was the day I stopped explaining. You smiled and said we're finally getting along. You didn't notice that the love was gone. You mistook my silence for a peaceful truce, but I was just cutting down the noose. I let you think whatever you wanted to think. I poured the rest of us down the kitchen sink. Why waste the breath? Why waste the air on a soul that isn't really there? I used to think that conflict was a sign that I was fighting for this heart of mine, but indifference is a colder kind of kill. When the fighting stops and the air gets still. Yeah, the room went quiet on a Tuesday afternoon. The sun was fading way too soon. You looked at me with that same blank stare, and I realized that you just didn't care. I didn't scream, I didn't start a fight. I didn't try to prove that I was right. I just let the silence take the blame. That was the day I stopped explaining. To be heard is to be loved. To be known is to be held. But I was speaking a language you never spell. I'm done translating my soul for you. I'm done painting pictures in shades of blue. If you don't get it by now, you never will. And that's the hardest, coldest pill. You asked me what was wrong tonight. I looked at you in the fading light. Oh, me would've told you everything. Oh, me would've felt the sting. But I just shook my head and turned away. I simply had nothing left to say. I'm fine, I said. I'm fine. That was the day I stopped explaining. I lay my head where the pillow is flat, still searching for the warmth of where you sat. The room is so quiet, I can hear the dust fall, and the shadows are dancing against the far wall. I remember the nights when the world was outside, and I tucked myself into the space by your side. My idiot chest like a shore to the sea, listen to the rhythm that meant you and me. But now the air is hollow and the air is thin. I'm living in the shell of the life we were in. I close my eyes tight till I start to see stars, trying to find where the melody jars. And I'm haunted by the echo of your heartbeat. It's the only sound that makes the day complete. A ghost in the hallway, a thud in the floor, the ghost of the person who doesn't live here anymore. It's thumping in my head, it's pulsing in the dark, a dying vibrations from a long lost spark. How do I find a rhythm that's new when all I hear is the echo of you? Every ticking clock sounds a little bit wrong, like it's trying to mimic our favorite song. I walk through the kitchen, I walk through the park, but I'm tuned to a frequency left in the dark. It's a phantom vibration, a trick of the mind, the piece of your presence you left here behind. I used to feel safe in that steady refrain. Now it's just the drum beat that carries the pain. Yeah, the air is heartbeat. It's the only sound that makes the day complete. A ghost in the hallway, a thud in the floor. The ghost of the person who doesn't live here anymore. It's thumping in my head, it's pulsing in the dark. A dying vibration from a long lost spark. How do I find a rhythm that's new when all I hear is the echo of you? Sometimes it's loud like a storm in my ears, drowning out the silence and washing through the tears. And sometimes it's soft like a whisper of weight as I'm standing alone at our broken down gate. I want it to stop, but I'm scared if it goes I'll be truly alone. And everyone knows that silence is a sound I can't face.
The suitcase is standing like a wall by the door. I've never hated the sound of a heartbeat more. The shadows are long and the kitchen is cold, counting the stories that we'll never leave told. You're looking at me with those I'm sorry eyes, while the moon hides its face in the ink of the skies. We've run out of road, we've run out of time, and loving you now feels like some kind of crime. My hands are shaking, reaching for your face, trying to memorize every line, every trace. The clock on the mantle is holding his breath for the moment always means its final death. So lean in slow, let the world fall away. There's nothing left for our broken hearts to say. It's the taste of the soul, it's the sting of the tear, it's the heaviest silence that I'll ever hear. Close your eyes tight, feel the ghost of the spark before we let go and walk into the dark. My heart's gonna break, but I'm staying right there for the last kiss we'll ever share. I remember the first one, back in the rain, how it felt like a fever, how it numbed every pain. Yeah, but this one is different, it's hollow and thin, like a white flag of surrender on shivering skin. I'm trying to catch you, to keep you in place, but I'm kissing a memory, I'm kissing a space. Once we pull back, the us becomes me, and I'll be the shore while you head for the sea. My hands are shaking, letting go of your face, watching the light leave this hollowed out place. The clock on the mantle finally breathes out. This is what losing is all about. So lean in slow, let the world fall away. There's nothing left for our broken hearts to say. It's the taste of the soul, it's the sting of the tear, it's the heaviest silence that I'll ever hear. Close your eyes tight, feel the ghost of the spark before we let go and walk into the dark. My heart's gonna break, but I'm staying right there for the last kiss we'll ever share. I wear it like a scar upon my lips, the way the world tilted, the way the
sun slips. I won't wash the sin of you off of my skin. I'm not ready to let the after begin. How do I breathe when the air is this cold? How do I let go of the hand I still hold? Lean in slow, let it all fall away. God, I wish I could make the universe stay. It's the taste of the salt, it's the sting of the tear. The only thing left of the years you were here. Close your eyes tight for the very last part before you walk out and leave me in the dark. My heart's already shattered, but I'm staying right there for the last kiss we'll ever share. The last kiss. It's so quiet now. I can still feel your ghost. I'm still standing here, but you're already gone.
I'm kneeling down in the hallway light, trying to see through the blur of the night. It happened so fast, just a slip of the hand. Now everything's scattered like grains of the sand. I'm looking for parts of the person I was before I was lost in just because. The floor is a mosaic of things we once said, and I'm crawling through shadows where angels won't tread. They sharp at the edges, they're jagged and cold, not like the story we used to be told. And every time I reach out to pull them together, I realize that now isn't forever. And I'm picking up the pieces of my broken heart, trying to find where the tragedy starts. Some are too small, some are gone with the wind. Where do I end and where did you begin? I'm gluing the cracks with the salt of my tears, trying to reclaim all of these wasted years. But it's a puzzle with parts that just won't fit, and I'm left in the dark trying to make sense of it. Just the pieces of my broken heart. Oh yeah, I found a fragment tucked under the bed, a word that you whispered, a promise you said. It's shaped like a Sunday, it's colored in blue. It's a jagged reminder of loving you. I tried to put us back on the shelf, but I don't even recognize the shape of myself. There's a hole in the middle, a gap in the frame, and no matter the light, it don't look the same. Yeah, they're sharp at the edges, they cut to the bone, the heaviest weight that I've ever known. I'm trying to mend what you left in the dust, but there's no glue for the ghost of our trust. And I'm picking up the pieces of my broken heart, trying to find where the tragedy starts. Some are too small, some are gone with the wind. Where do I end and where did you begin? I'm gluing the cracks with the salt of my tears, trying to reclaim all of these wasted years. But it's a puzzle with parts that just won't fit, and I'm left in the dark trying to make sense of it. They say that time is a healer of souls, but time only shows me how deep are the holes. You can put it together, you can try to make it whole, but the scars aren't the map of the love that you stole.
stove. It'll never be smooth, it'll never be clear. It's just a heap of the things I held dear. Yeah, I'm picking up the pieces of my broken heart, still wondering why we had to fall apart. Some are too small, some are gone with the wind. I'm losing the battle to let you back in. I'm gluing the cracks with the salt of my tears. But I'll be doing this for 1,000 years. 'Cause it's a puzzle with parts that just won't fit. And I'm still in the dark trying to make sense of it. One piece for the laughter, one piece for the pain, one piece for the nights that I called out your name. I'm still missing one, the one that was you. Just pieces, nothing but pieces of my broken heart.
The hallway light is flickering on the floor. I got one hand on the handle of the door. Behind me is the kitchen where we used to dance. In front of me is the cold and a second chance. But my feet are heavy like they're made of stone. I'm terrified of being whole or being alone. I look at the key sitting there on the shelf, and I don't even recognize the shape of myself. If I stay, I'm living in a house of glass, waiting for the next sharp word to pass. But if I go, I'm tearing out a piece of my soul, leaving a space that'll never make whole. And I'm torn between love and goodbye, between the truth and a beautiful lie. One heart is begging me to turn around instead. The other is screaming at me to walk away. It's a war in my chest and there's no place to hide. I'm standing on the edge of the great divide, with a tear in my eye and a knot in my tie. I'm torn between love and goodbye. I see you standing there in the bedroom light, with that look that used to make everything right. The way your hair falls, the scent of your skin, it's the gravity that always pulls me back in. But then I remember the silence of the weeks and the salt from the tears that have stained our cheeks. We're a masterpiece that's been ripped at the edge, standing on the very last inch of the ledge. If I
The worst of the winter was finally behind us. The sun was beginning to break through the gray. We navigated darkness where no one could find us. We fought for the promise of a better day. I checked the map and I saw we were getting there. The city limit sign was coming into view. I let down my guard and I'm breathing the air, thinking the dangerous part was all through. I reached for your hand across the divide, thinking we'd survive the roughest ride. I started to picture the keys in the door. I didn't think I had to fight anymore, but we almost made it home. We were standing on the porch that blew forever. We had the rest of our lives sewn together. The fire was waiting, the table was set. We had survived every storm we had met, but the engine died out with the house in our sight. And you walked away in the soft evening light. Yeah, the hardest part of being alone is knowing that we almost made it home. We had the boxes all packed in the hallway. We had a blueprint for how we would grow. We said we would love one another always. We had so much history, so much to show. If we had crashed at the start of the journey, it wouldn't be haunting me quite like it does. But to fall at the finish, to lose in the 20, to kill it right when there was finally a us. I loosened my grip on the steering wheel, started to let myself finally feel that we were safe, that we were secure. But nothing in this life is ever for sure, 'cause we almost made it home. We were standing on the porch that blew forever. We had the rest of our lives sewn together. The fire was waiting, the table was set. We had survived every storm we had met, but the engine died out with the house in our sight. And you walked away in the soft evening light. Yeah, the hardest part of being alone is knowing that we almost made it home. It's a cruel kind of joke, it's a twist of the knife to show me the glimpse of a beautiful life, and then snatch it away when I'm reaching out to leave me standing in the shadow of doubt. We were right there. We were right there. Now I'm sitting on the curb, suitcase in my hand, looking at a house built on sinking sand. The lights are off, the driveway is cold, and the story is finished before it was told. Yeah, we almost made it. We almost made it. We almost made it I was standing in the lobby of a crowded downtown cafe when a stranger called out a name I haven't said in days. I felt the world go quiet, felt the blood rush, from my face, like a sudden tidal wave hitting every empty space. It was just a casual shout, someone looking for a friend. But for me it was the beginning of the world about to end. I forgot the coffee in my hand, I forgot the morning light, because those syllables just brought back every single fight. It's funny how a sound can be a weapon in disguise, how a couple of vows can bring the tears back to my eyes. I thought I built a fortress, I thought I finally won, but I'm still standing frozen like a shadow in the sun. Because your name still hurts like a saltwater sting, like the heaviest weight that a memory can bring. It used to be a melody, a soft-spoken prayer. Now it's just a ghost hanging thick in the air. I can go for a week and feel like I'm fine, then I hear those letters and I'm back across the line. My heart is a bruise that never quite works. God, even after all this time, your name still hurts. I saw it on a package that was meant for someone else, and I felt the old self break underneath my chest. I used to love the way it felt to roll it on my tongue back when the world was easy and the us was still young. Now it's a word I avoid, a place I don't go, a secret in the basement that I don't wanna know. I've deleted every message, I burned every note, but I still can't get that name out of my throat. Yeah, the world keeps on spinning, ignoring the pain, but I'm still flinching at the mention of your name. I thought I'd grown a thicker skin, I thought the wound had closed, but it's still the sharpest thorn on the stem of the rose. Because your name still hurts like a saltwater sting, like the heaviest weight that a memory can bring. It used to be a melody, a soft-spoken prayer. Now it's just a ghost hanging thick in the air. I can go for a week and feel like I'm fine, then I hear those letters and I'm back across the line. My heart is a bruise that never quite works. God, even after all this time, your name still hurts. I've tried to rename the stars in the sky, I've tried to find a sound that won't make me cry, but those few little letters, they've got a hold on my soul, like a fire that started out of my control. Will there ever be a day when it's just another word, or is this the loudest silence I've ever heard? Just the smoke from a bridge that isn't there. I can go for a year and feel like I'm fine, then I hear someone call it and I'm back across the line. My heart is a bruise that never quite works. God, even after all this time, your name still hurts. A handful of letters, a mountain of pain. I'm still terrified of the sound of your name. It still hurts. It still hurts. It still hurts. I've been learning how to walk a different street, to avoid the places where we used to meet. I changed the color of the walls inside my room, swept out the dust with a brand new broom. I've been practicing the smile of someone new, a version of myself that never heard of you. I tell my friends I'm steady, I tell them I'm strong, I tell them that I finally moved along. But then I hear it in a crowded coffee shop, the
stop. Just a syllable, just a simple sound, but it's enough to drag me to the ground. I can change the lives, I can change the town, I can burn the bridges and tear them down. I can wear a mask so the world can't see, but your name, yeah, your name still knows me. It cuts through the armor, it finds the vein, it drags me back into the pouring rain. I can lie to the mirror and say I'm free, but your name still knows me. It's funny how a word can hold so much weight, enough to twist the arm of fate. It wraps around my throat like a heavy chain, reminding me that I'm still in pain. I could meet a stranger and take his hand, build a castle out of shifting sand. But if he whispers it, or if he asks, I lose my focus, then I drop the mask. Cause I hear it in a crowded coffee shop, and my heart decides it's time to stop. Just a syllable, just a simple sound, but it's enough to drag me to the ground. I can't change the locks and change the town, I can burn the bridges and tear them down. I can wear a mask so the world can't see, but your name, yeah, your name still knows me. It cuts through the armor, it finds the vein, it drags me back into the pouring rain. I can lie to the mirror and say I'm free, but your name still knows me. It knows my secrets, it knows my fears, it knows the taste of all my saltwater tears. It's a language that I'm trying to forget, but my heart hasn't finished speaking it yet. I'm a fugitive running from a memory, but your name is the only thing that captures me. I'm a stranger to the person I was before. I don't live in that house anymore, but when the lights go down and the silence grows, there is one thing that the darkness knows. Yeah, your name still knows me. Still knows me. I pull the blankets up to hide away the day, because reality is a price I don't wanna pay. The sun is too loud and the world is too bright. I'm just a stowaway waiting for the night. I shut my eyes and I'm walking down a street that doesn't exist beneath my weary feet. I'm looking for a house with a light in the hall, where your coat is still hanging on by the wall. The colors start to bleed, the edges start to fade. I'm searching for the version of you that didn't walk away. I'm running through a forest made of static and a mist, looking for the only lips I ever really kissed. And I'm chasing you through my dreams tonight, running through the shadows, reaching for the light. You're always just a corner, just a heartbeat away, in a world where the forever didn't turn into gray. But every time I catch you, you turn into the rain, and I'm left here screaming out your name in vain. It's the only place I find you, so it really seems. sitting on a porch we never got to build, with a glass of wine that never will be spilled. You're laughing at a joke I haven't even told. In your hand in mine doesn't feel so cold. I try to tell you that I miss you, that it's been so long, but the words come out like a broken house song. I try to grab your sleeve, try to make you stay, but the sky's turning white and you're fading into gray. The walls begin to melt, the floor begins to shake. I'm terrified of the moment that I have to wake. I'm begging for the moonlight to stay a little more before I'm washed up, lonely on a different shore. And I'm chasing you through my dreams tonight, running through the shadows, reaching for the light. You're always just a corner, just a heartbeat away, in a world where the forever didn't turn into gray. But every time I catch you, you turn into the rain, and I'm left here screaming out your name in vain. It's the only place I find you, or so it really seems. I'm just a ghost, chasing you through my dreams. The alarm clock is a hammer, the sun is a knife, ripping me back to this hollowed out life. I try to close my eyes again to find the trail you left, but I'm standing in the morning, feeling like a theft. My heart is out of breath, my legs are heavy as lead, from all the miles I've traveled inside of my head. Dreams tonight, a beautiful tragedy in black and in white. You're always just a second, just a heartbeat away, and I'm desperate for a night that never turns to day. But every time I touch you, you dissolve into the air, and I wake up in the silence and you're never really there. It's the only way to love you, so it really seems. I'm just a fool, chasing you through my dreams. I'm so tired from all the running. Don't wake me up yet, I almost had your hand. Just one more minute, chasing you through my dreams. The carpet holds the outline where the sofa used to sit. There's a candle on the mantelpiece that I never get to lit. The closet doors are open and the hangers are all bare, dancing like a wind chime in the drafty hallway air. I boxed up all the paperbacks, I took down every frame, I scrubbed the walls to wash away the echo of your name. By all accounts, this apartment is as vacant as can be. So why does it feel like you're still standing next to me? My friends say clean slate, they say fresh start. They don't know the layout of a broken heart. They see the open floor, they see the sunlight stream, but they don't see the night living inside the dream. Cause it's an empty room, but it's crowded tonight, with the ghosts of us dancing in the pale moonlight. There's a whisper in the corner, there's a shadow by the door, there's a phantom into the kitchen, and I swear I hear you laugh. I'm choking on the silence of this better missing half. The dust is settling softly on the window pane, just like the way I settle for this loneliness and pain. I try to fill the quiet with the radio and noise, but nothing drowns the memory of your tender voice. It bounces off the ceiling, it ricochets softly, a cruel reminder of the way we used to be. I'm paying rent on a house that's made of air, looking for a comfort that just isn't there. I try to close my eyes, I try to look away, but the movie keeps on playing, replay after replay. 'Cause it's an empty room, but it's crowded tonight, with a ghost of us dancing in the pale moonlight. There's a whisper in a corner, there's a shadow by the door, there's a phantom heartbeat pounding underneath the floor. You took your clothes, you took your keys, you took your history, but you left me with this heavy haunting mystery. How can a place with nothing left inside have nowhere left for me to hide? It's just an empty room full of memories. I can paint the walls a different shade of blue, but the primer won't cover up the thought of you. I can sell the house, I can move out west, but I still carry this heavy rattling chest. It's not the bricks, it's not the stone, it's the fact that I am here alone, and you are everywhere. You are everywhere. Going down, the shadows start to stretch. I'm caught inside the memories that I can't quite catch. I'm sitting on the floor, knees pulled to my chest, trying to put these ghosts to rest. But the room is so full, the room is so full, empty room full of memories. Wake up and reach for the space where you lay. The light's coming in, but the colors all fade. The ceiling is staring, the room is too still, and I'm trying to climb up this invisible hill. I go to inhale, but the air is like lead, like every sweet word that we ever had said has turned into smoke, it's filling my lungs, and I'm tripping over the songs we once sung. My body remembers the rhythm of us before all our gold turned into this rust. It should be so simple, a natural thing, but I'm choking on shadows and the winter you bring. So tell me, how do I breathe without you? When you were the oxygen I ran my life through, you were the wind in the sails of my heart, and now I'm just falling, I'm falling apart. The atmosphere's thin and the sky is too blue, and I'm gasping for air in a world without you. to the corner. I passed by our street and I forgot for a second that we never meet. My chest started tightening, the panic set in, like I'm underwater and I'm losing the spin. Every exhale feels like a final goodbye. I hollowed out a low to a permanent sky. I used to move easy, I used to move light. Now I'm fighting for air in the middle of the night. Yeah, the world keeps on moving. The people walk by, they don't see the vacuum, they don't hear the sigh. It should be so simple, just in and then out, but I'm drowning in silence and I'm drowning in doubt. So tell me, how do I breathe without you? When you were the oxygen I read my life through, you were the wind in the sails of my heart, and now I'm just falling, I'm falling apart. The atmosphere's thin and the sky is too blue, and I'm gasping for air in a world without you. One step and another, it's all I can do. But how do I breathe? How do I breathe without you? I'm a diver at the bottom of a dark, lonely sea, and you were the line that connected to me. Now the cord has been severed, the pressure is deep, and I'm losing the promises I wanted to keep. Is there air in this room? Is there life in this chest? Or am I just a ghost, Lord, who forgot how to rest? God, tell me, how do